So, Joe, no one told you your life was gonna be this way? Your job's a joke, you're broke, your love life's DOA?
None of those things are true.
Because I've always been there for you. I'm Adam.
And I'm Joe.
Together, we're the Maladjusted Misfits.
And this is the one where we talk about friends.
Season 2 wrap-up bonus episode, Misfits!
That's right, woohoo! Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
Season 2 wrap-up.
Yeah, are you excited?
I am. We just released our 50th episode last week.
That can't be right.
It's true.
1 plus 2 plus 2.
No, it's 2 plus 1 plus 2. 50 episodes in.
Wow.
Yep.
So season 3's coming up soon.
That's right. We have one more special bonus episode after this.
That's right.
Romy and Michelle's high school reunion.
Starring one of our friends, Lisa Kudrow, because we're going to do a different movie.
After each season.
After each season.
Starring one of
we'll
our
have
friends.
to figure out what we're going to do next one.
Yeah.
Because we did Matthew Perry and the whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards.
And we're doing
Lisa Kudrow. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll have to fight over who's going to be next.
Yeah.
I think you're going to force me to watch Ed, aren't you?
I think I'm saving Ed for last.
Oh,
I think
okay.
we'll do Ed when everything's done after season 10. We can watch Ed and be like, "Oh, that was unfortunate."
That was an unfortunate movie. Poor Joey. Poor man.
So, what are you looking forward to in season 3?
I like season 3 and 4. I think that's when you start to see the true characters come out. That's when you see, Joey starts being real Joey.
Right.
They all settle into their characters. We get the real Ross and Rachel.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to it. I like, the Chandler Janice romance.
So you're looking forward to that? Is that what you're looking forward to the most?
I think they're fun, yeah.
Okay.
I think they're fun.
I like a lot of the season 3 stuff coming up. I personally am always looking forward to, well, let me ask you this question. Am I the ultimate fighting champion?
I forgot about Pete. You have to ask yourself, am I the ultimate fighting champion? Too funny. He's awesome.
All right. So season 3, or season 2, I'm sorry.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Season 2. So.
All right. You ready for some trivia and statistics?
Yeah, we're both going to do some.
Yeah. So, season 2, it aired on September 21st, 1995, right? 32.1 million people turned in for episode 1 of season 2.
Wow.
Yeah. And then throughout season 2, it kept an average of 31.7 million viewers for the season.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so, it kept its viewership. It was pretty popular.
That's a lot of millions.
People liked it.
The most watched episode is the episode after the Super Bowl.
Yeah. With
52.9 million people tuned in.
Damn. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of friends watching going on.
That's right. In season 2, out of the 24 episodes, Michael Lembeck directed 14 of those episodes. Yeah.
So does Michael Lembeck come back again for later seasons?
You know what he does? He comes back for a couple episods all the way through season 7.
Oh, okay.
So just a couple episodes sprinkled out.
Right.
So,
not any.
Not as much as this one. And, he won an Emmy for the one after the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah. So he directed 14. James Burrows came back for 1 episode in season 2. Kevin Bright directed 2 episodes. And then we had 7 other miscellaneous directors throughout season 2.
Okay. All right. And then we had Jeff Astroff and Mike Sikowitz wrote 4 of our episodes.
Right.
Ira Ungerleider came back for 3. Michael Curtis and Greg Malins wrote 3 episodes together.
Yep.
And 2 episodes for each Young, Chase, Mandel, Borns, Borkow, and 4 other writing singles or duos for one
each of the rest of
episode
the episodes. Okay, cool.
So we got a lot of the names you see a lot, especially in the seasons coming up.
Yep.
All kind of chiming in. And
right. And we have our duos that like to work together, so... All right, so the top 3 episodes of season 2 for both viewers and reviewers that came up. So the number one is the one with the prom video, of course. That was
it's
the
a
most
favorite.
loved.
Everybody
yes.
loves the prom video one.
So it averages about 9.3 out of 10, both viewers and reviewers.
Right.
The second one is the one where Ross finds out. So when she confesses that she likes him. So
that
was
one's good.
That's a 9 out of 10. The third top viewed one is the one with the two parties.
Yeah.
Again, that's a high rated one.
Yeah, that's another really good one.
It's another 9 plus out of 10. So
yeah, and the least favorite episodes of season 2.
Yep.
We have the one with the chicken pox at 7.9 out of 10.
Not so good.
No. I mean, it's still 7.9. It's not like a 3 or something.
No, none of them are horrible.
No, none of them get horrible scores. And then we have the one with Phoebe's husband. 7.8 out of 10. And the one with Phoebe's dad. 7.8 out of 10.
There's a little theme going there. So when Phoebe is the main storyline, not so much the favorite.
Well, again, I think... And we'll kind of talk about it as we go through, but I think Phoebe's probably the weakest link of the season.
Yeah.
I think she had the least amount to do in season 1.
Yep.
We kind of talked about that during the season 1 breakdown.
Her and Joey. Yeah.
Yeah, her and Joey are the least. But I think they trying to give her weird backstories and lots of weird history. And,
too much.
And I think it's a little too much. And I don't think any of it's...
Well,
She never has a lot of interaction with the other people with her storylines.
Yeah, and there's no real resolution to any of her stories either.
Yeah.
All right, and so this is the only season without a dedicated Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
So season 2, the rest of the seasons will have the dedicated Thanksgiving episodes, which everyone loves. Those are always the best.
Those are always really funny. And I think it's kind of season 3. They really kind of go, okay, this is kind of going to be our thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're going to have this is going to be our, staple.
Right. As of this season, all the episodes are filmed on Stage 24, which was renamed the Friends Stage after the series finale.
Oh, so it's now the Friends Stage. Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for some season 2 reactions?
Yes.
All right,
let's talk about how we react to the whole season.
All right, so season 2 is good. It's fun. We're still learning about the characters. We're still developing the relationships. Ross and Rachel. Chandler keeps going back to Janice. He starts off trying to find Janice. Ends up trying to find Janice. Yeah. We have Monica and Richard. And then we have Phoebe and her wacky past.
Right.
It just keeps... everything's weird.
Yeah, they got to keep it weird. And season 2, I feel, is stronger than season 1.
Sure.
And I feel like there could have been a pull to really have Ross and Rachel be the main characters. I know that David Schwimmer really went out of his way during the production to kind of keep them all together on the same pay scale and the same importance. And I feel like they could have kind of went off with Ross and Rachel and everybody else just kind of been in the background. But they really tried to have everybody have their episodes where they're in the forefront more in season 2.
Yeah.
And they really committed to the ensemble nature of the show, which I think is one of its strongest aspects.
Absolutely. We had some awesome side characters this season. Some Julie, Susie Moss, Erica Ford, brilliantly played. And of course, our favorite, Eddie Minuik.
Yes.
Well, maybe not yours, but my favorite, Eddie Minogue.
He's our favorite.
Yeah.
Apparently, other people don't like Eddie as much as we do. But...
Some people do. I've, been trading some memes and stories back and forth on our social media, but I get some more Eddie love than I was hearing.
Right.
Since we've done those episodes. But yeah, some people say that they exploited Eddie.
Well, again, I always go back to all the characters are kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Frank Jr.'s definitely crazy. Erica Ford, definitely crazy. Even Julia Roberts' character.
It's pretty,
pretty crazy with their obsessing over Chandler.
Well, yeah.
Chandler did
if you think about it, they made Jean-Claude Van Damme pretty wackadoo, too.
Right. Everybody kind of on the show, that's kind of one of their things. So
right.
To single one out and go, oh,
this
guy's
nuts.
mental health problems, I think is a little missing the point. But they do stick to the concept of having the other side characters coming in and out of the show, which I think helps a great deal. It's not always reliant on them.
Right.
Then you have Brooke Shields coming in and just being a wacky person for an episode.
Right.
they just kind of let her go at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that helps the variety of the episodes, which is one of the reasons people are still watching it 30 years later.
Yeah, for sure. We have some great fun situations this season. They still have this sitcom feel. You know, there's some weird things like the bus story.
Right.
But it's still so funny.
Yeah.
You know, wearing a pink thong, losing your clothes, fighting over Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Right.
Oh, I don't get why, you know, that's...
Yeah.
I don't get that story. But we get to see Monica's neuroses grow, you know, like
Right.
she gets crazier and crazier, like more neurotic each episode,
Right.
and we get to see that grow. So yeah.
Well, I think one of the things with the Jean-Claude Van Damme is you don't personally care for him.
No.
As an actor or a, you know. So I think you need to think of it in terms of...
He was
you know,
big that...
You need to, you know, put like a Clive Owen or somewhere in there mentally for
true.
you to
Okay,
make it better.
All right.
My biggest criticism for season 2 would be that the episodes are not always even.
Mm-hmm.
The well-rounded plots and subplots. For example, Phoebe being possessed is kind of a low point in that. You know, Rachel dating Russ.
Yeah.
Like the prom video one.
Right.
There's the prom video and that stuff going on. Plus the bracelet stuff with Chandler and Joey makes for a well-rounded episode.
Yeah.
But some of the episodes are a little uneven.
I think they get better as the seasons go on.
Oh, I agree, absolutely. And they do get better, and that's why it's a complaint for season 2.
Right. So we do see a lot of relationships blossom this season. Ross and Rachel finally get together. They start off not together, get together, break up, get together.
Yeah, their relationship this season is like a blueprint for the entire series.
Yeah. We get to see Richard and Monica, you know.
Right.
Even though their relationship is short-lived, we see it last the entire or most of the season. You know, we see the maturity of the relationship,
right.
and it's a good relationship. It's sweet.
Yeah.
Chandler starts off, you know, going to Janice, and she's pregnant, and then at the end, he ends up with Janice again. So he finds his way back to her, which I think is hilarious.
One of the things that, when I think about Friends, there's always somebody gets a date with somebody, and then it's kind of okay, and then they find something out crazy about that person. Right. They never clean their apartment or whatever, and then they have to break up with her.
Right.
I like the Richard-Monica relationship because it's a good, kind of healthy relationship, but they want different things. Yeah. But, you know, they know that they need to split.
Right. They could continue seeing each other, but they don't want the same thing in the end, so yeah.
But Richard didn't turn into a crazy person.
No, and she didn't turn into a stalker. Right. She does that later.
Yeah. But the performances really saved the day. I mean, the whole cast is so likable and committed to their characters. I mean, like, I've read stuff that Aniston has said where she's like, I don't agree with most of the stuff Rachel does.
Right.
But she plays Rachel really well.
She does.
And that helps that they're so committed.
For sure. All right, you want to do some favorites for this season?
Favorites?
Yeah.
Sure.
So favorite lines, we're just going to do the counts. We're not going to go through every line. We'll do some, pull out some favorites when we go through our characters.
Okay? Yeah.
So we had 2 guests this season on our podcast. So one of our guests' favorite line was from Rachel.
Right.
The other guest's favorite line was from Chandler.
Mm-hmm.
So this Jesse from Rachel, and Mike M was a Chandler.
Yeah. And what were your totals? Who were your favorite quotes from?
So my favorite quotes this season, I had 7 from Chandler.
Okay.
5 from Monica.
Ooh.
4 Ross. 2 Phoebe. 2 Joey. 1 Rachel. 1 from Susan.
Okay.
1 Eddie Joey combo, because they both say the same line. See ya, pals.
See ya, pals.
And then 1 Eddie by himself.
1 Eddie by himself. Okay.
So who were your favorite lines?
All right. So I had Chandler at 11 favorites.
Ooh. Chandler was the god this month. Sorry.
This season.
Yeah.
And then I followed that up with Joey with 4.
All right.
Monica with 2. Ross with 2. Fun Bobby with 1.
Oh.
Mr. Edelman with one, the Zookeeper with one,
The Zookeeper.
Richard with one,
Wow.
and Mr. Weinberg with one.
You do like those guest stars.
I do. I didn't have any love for Phoebe or Rachel as far as favorite lines.
That's all right.
I think a couple of them got stolen.
Yeah,
though,
because
so.
I think one of our guest stars stole one of your favorite Rachel lines. And then I think I stole one of your Phoebe lines. So,
but that happens.
It's all right. All right, favorite outfits this season, legitimate or ironic.
Mm-hmm.
So one of our guests' favorite outfit was Ross, which was an ironic outfit.
Right.
And then the other one was Rachel, which was a legit outfit.
Right.
Yeah. So my breakdown for season 2, I gave it to Rachel 10 times.
10 times.
She's going to be, overall, I think, my favorite.
Well, she is the fashionista of the bunch, so.
Then I had a tie with Phoebe and Monica, both 5 times.
Okay.
Chandler, I gave it to 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Ross once, not ironic either.
No.
And I did give Joey any love this season.
Oh, no favorite outfits for Joey.
No love for Joey. How about you?
Okay, well, mine is a little more mixed than
Right.
yours.
Okay.
I also had Rachel as number 1.
Okay.
With 7.
7 times.
But she had one ironic win for me.
Which was the bubble yum dress.
Yes. I have Monica at 5 times with one ironic.
One ironic. Which one was that?
That was her diner outfit.
Oh, okay.
Phoebe, I have 4 times.
Okay.
Carol Willick got 2 votes from me.
You do like Carol.
Joey got 1 for me, an ironic win.
Uh-huh.
The Cologne Cowboy, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Chandler got 1 ironic win for me.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
It was the thong in the bathroom door, I believe is what I gave it to him for.
Okay, I get it.
Bathroom door. And then I had a Joey and Phoebe double win with their raincoats. And then I had a Ross and Richard double win with their girly robes.
That's right.
That was an ironic win. I gave Eddie 1 win.
Yep.
And I gave 1 win to Erica Ford.
That's right. You do love those special guests.
I do.
I
like variety.
Yeah.
I like variety. I like spreading out.
All right, let's go through our top episodes, and then we'll go through some themes. So, top episodes for season 2. This was tough.
Yeah.
I wrote a bunch down, and then I didn't want to do the same as you, so I tried to pull some different ones.
Okay.
So, I looked at your list ahead of time.
Cheater.
All right, so my number 1 is the one where Eddie won't go, because...
Yeah.
I mean, Eddie Minogue, or his character, Adam Goldberg, just solid performance. I love him and Chandler's interactions.
Well, again, and it's so fun. Just that dynamic of somebody being there that you don't want there.
Yeah.
And just the stress and the craziness. Yeah. It's all good. It's all fun.
The whole story is fun. I know the one where Mr. Heckles dies annoys you for the Phoebe aspect of it.
Right.
But I love Chandler's acting and his arc and the turmoil he goes through. He feels like he's going to end up alone.
Right.
I like that arc and that character arc of him. So I chose Mr. Heckles.
It is a good, strong Perry performance.
Exactly. And that's why I chose it. And then the one with 2 parties, because it's funny. It's got great lines. There's so much action going on. It goes back and forth. Ping, 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 ping.
Right.
It's just fun. I like it.
Right. And I think the one where Eddie won't go and the one with the 2 parties both could have easily been on my top 3. Some of it depends on how you're feeling in the moment.
Right,
too.
true. Yeah.
I went with the one with the prom video. Mm-hmm. Again, as I stated not that long ago, it's got the bracelet thing going on, plus the Ross and Rachel romance, plus it's wrapped in the old prom video, and you get the flashbacks. And,
the 90s stuff.
So I really like that episode. I think that episode offers a lot. Mm-hmm. Then I picked the one where Dr. Ramore dies, because I like the Joey and the Eddie Munich.
That's true.
Minogue. Thank you. Because that's right when Eddie starts making his change and full-blown crazy and driving Chandler crazy. So, I like that one a lot. And I did a little bit of cheating because I wrapped in the one after the Super Bowl.
Oh, because
Since it came out as all one episode, I kind of lumped it as one episode.
That was really good too.
And
there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in both of those.
Right,
like we don't love
Rachel.
like Jean-Claude Van Damme is neither here nor there, but them fighting over him is pretty funny.
It's funny.
And Julia Roberts and Chris Isaacs and the zoo stuff is all fun. So I went with that one. I just really enjoyed all that stuff.
It is fun. All right. So we didn't do this last wrap up, but we did have a lot of themes we thought we would bring into this one. So themes we explored this season.
Yeah.
Lots of relationships.
Yes.
So we had Ross and Julie. Mm-hmm. We had Ross and Rachel.
Right.
We had Monica and Fun Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had Monica and Richard.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Chandler and Janice.
Yes. Oh, and then we had a lot of breakups.
We did.
Theme 2, a lot of breakups. Ross and Julie. Ross and Rachel. Monica and Doll Bobby. And Monica and Richard.
Yeah. Theme 3, I think a central theme in this was nubbins or a third nipple. I think that one was a big storyline in season 2.
Theme 4, lesbian weddings. That did not cause any hoopla.
Yeah, that was a good episode, the lesbian wedding. And remember, they thought it was going to cause a lot of turmoil, and it didn't.
The tidbit of them prepping for blowback that did not come. Because people who were going to be annoyed probably didn't even watch Friends. So.
Exactly. And the Friends fans did not care. They were supportive. So.
All right.
All right. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Yep.
Welcome to Central Perk. What can I get for you?
What do you have?
Well, the options are written on the chalkboard over there in the one with the lesbian wedding.
Okay. Rachel, sadly I cannot read. Could you list them, please?
Yeah. Okay. So, cappuccino.
Yeah.
Espresso. Cafe au lait. Mochaccino.
Mochaccino?
Yeah. Is that what you'd like?
No.
Oh, okay. We also have a Central Jolt Java. New York Classico. Urban Tribe Java.
Now, what's in the Urban Tribe Java?
Urban Tribes. Then we have the Manhattan Mocha, Long Island Cream, Empire Roast, and Miss Liberty Blend.
Good selection. I'll have a... What was the first one?
Cappuccino?
Cappuccino, yeah.
Good. Anything else?
What pastries do you have? Hi, we're back.
We're back. Ready to break down some side characters?
I am.
I always love the side characters.
Yeah, we like side characters. We do.
They bring so much. And they're so good.
All right, so let's see. Side characters. So Paulo returned.
For one episode.
He returned only for the season opener.
Yes.
And gladly will never be returning again.
That's right. We never see him again.
No. He did drop one unforgettable line, which I love. When Ross is like, so what are you doing here? He goes, I do Raquel.
So to the point. We also have Julie.
Yeah.
We got to see Ross in a healthy relationship that lasted 8 episodes.
Oh, poor Julie.
Before she gets dumped for Rachel, who gets mad at the pro-con list, and then the relationship with Ross lasted 3 minutes and 43 seconds.
Yes, I remember timing that.
Yes, long enough for him to go get her jacket. Since she was adorable, the show gave her Russ as a consolation prize.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Which I think was cute. And then we had our little, we think Russ and Julie are still together and had a bunch of kids.
Yes.
But she gave us a line regarding porn. We liked her line.
Right.
Does this movie have a plot, or do they just start having sex? Oh, never mind.
Never mind. Oh, and then we have Jane Sibbett and Jessica H.
Yep.
That's Carol and Susan.
Yay.
And they returned for 3 episodes this season. The gorgeous lesbian duo. First, they proved that they tried breast milk and
Yes.
were fine with it. Then they get married.
Yay.
Yes, very romantic. Hopefully the pair are still married today.
Oh, I think so.
And lastly, they were super duper excited to ditch Ben for a whole weekend.
We get it.
Yeah, I think most parents do.
And then we get the ever fabulous Jack and Judy Geller.
Yes.
Elliot Gould and Christina Pickles. They only show up twice this season to make sure Monica puts aside some savings, which she did not.
Right.
Actually, she did, but then she spent it all.
Right.
And to drop off Monica and Rachel's prom video.
Which had a little bonus section at the end.
Yeah. Spring for a new tape, Jack. And Jack also has a birthday that is only kind of ruined when he finds out his daughter is dating one of his best friends.
Dope. That would bum me out, I think. Then we have Mr. Heckles.
Aww.
After providing so much joy, he passed away, leaving his junk to the noisy girls, number 1 and number 2 upstairs. And he could still have a cat out there somewhere, I guess. I don't.
And then we have Duncan, the straight gay ice dancer.
Yes.
Divorced Phoebe to get married to another woman. It probably didn't work out.
Oh. It's hard to say. We didn't get to know Duncan very well.
No. But I did like Steve Zahn.
Yes, I like Steve Zahn a lot.
Funny.
And then we had Stephanie,
yes,
played by Christy Hynde.
Oh, yeah.
And she must have gone on to bigger and better things because we never see her at Central Park again.
That's true. Marlo Thomas played Mrs. Green.
Mm-hmm.
She showed up for the lesbian wedding and
For no reason, right?
Yeah. Well, she stayed in town with Rachel,
right?
So she was invited.
Right. It makes more sense for Richard and Monica to be at the other one than it did for her to be at that one. But
she showed up for the lesbian wedding and to tell Rachel she was divorcing her dad.
Mm-hmm.
Then she came to Rachel's surprise birthday party.
Yeah.
The surprise being that Mr. Green was also there.
Oh.
But the gang saved the day by keeping them apart. But Rachel still had her meltdown in the hallway.
Right.
Yeah.
She always has to have a meltdown. It's her thing.
It is.
And then we had Fun Bobby. He stopped by to pick people up and to stop drinking. I don't know. He's probably dull but better off.
That's true. That's true. We had some really fun experiences with Nikki Cat, Peter DeLuise, Fred Willard, Chris Isaac. Brooke Shields played an amazing Erica Ford.
Yes.
Julia Roberts, Dan Castellaneta at the zoo, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
A lot of fun stars this season.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the last side character we will mention during this section. And that's a maladjusted favorite, Eddie Minowick, who briefly lived with Chandler when Joey wanted to give financial independence a try.
Short-lived try.
Yeah. Good luck to you, Eddie, wherever you are, you dehydrating maniac.
So, some favorite side character quotes. What are some of your favorites?
Okay, well, I liked Mr. Edelman. You know, remember his wife died and went into Phoebe's
body, yeah.
Allegedly. And then he was like, oh, wait, I remember. She also said she wanted to sleep with me one last time.
I like that quote. And then this little nod to Joey. It was like worth a shot, you know?
Give it a try. I mean...
Mine was Richard when Chandler was like, this is me, no jokes. And he was like, ooh, I don't like it.
Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, nobody likes serious Chandler. One of my other favorite quotes is the Fun Bobby quote.
Yes.
But apparently there were no hardware stores open past midnight in the village.
I do like that. And as we were working, and we've already teased this, but we've been working on our t-shirts.
Yeah.
That would make an excellent t-shirt.
Yes.
I would totally wear it.
Yeah.
All right. So another side character favorite of mine is Eddie.
Yeah.
No, I want to hear it from your lips.
Yes. Oh, where'd you hear it from before? Another one of my favorite is the zookeeper.
Yes.
The zoo. Do you believe everything the zoo tells you?
I love that whole scene. It's the only thing the zoo's ever told me.
Yeah.
And then I have to go with Jack Geller when he talks about Rachel's parents getting divorced.
Yeah.
And he goes, sorry, my mistake. Don't you have to fold, dear? Go fold.
Yeah. Maybe it was me that did that. I don't remember. All right. Now we'll go get into the main characters.
All right. Breaking them down, each episode, what happened to them.
Yes, the overall season, what they did. So you remember the whole season.
Got it.
So Chandler Bing, season 2.
Yes.
So unfortunately, he starts the season trying to get pants tailored, and Joey's tailor takes advantage of him.
Aww.
Then episode 2, Chandler serves as bartender to Joey's cologne cowboy.
That was a cute little scene.
Yeah. 3, he finds common links between himself and the dead Mr. Heckles. Chandler is worried that he'll die alone. Episode 4, we find out about Chandler's nubbin. He looks cute with Monica while watching Joey's porn.
Oh, yeah, their little dance scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cute.
Then in the next episode, he pretends to be Bob to hook up with Jade.
Yeah, not so keen on that.
And he buys Hootie tickets for his poor friend's outreach program. The boy kid told me he went to see Hootie on the Blowfish.
No, sir.
Yeah, they must have been somewhere around here.
Oh my gosh. Does he know? All right, whatever.
He was like, they're pretty good. I was like, no. So in the 6th episode, Chandler and Joey babysit Ben and take him on the bus to meet chicks. And then they forget Ben.
What kind of scary ass clowns came to your birthday?
That's right. In episode 7, Monica trains Chandler after he gains quote-unquote weight.
Right. That was sad. Pathetic.
Then he uses his new laptop to help Ross make a pro-cons list between Rachel and Julie. That does not work out so well.
Not well at all.
They should have played Doom. Episode 9, he rides back up with Joey for Phoebe as she goes to meet her father and buys crappy gas station presents for everybody for Christmas.
I feel like I should buy you another sweater.
Episode 10, Chandler helps Joey with casting couch issues and makes fun of Ross/Russ. 11, he helps Monica prep for the lesbian wedding and behaves badly at the wedding itself.
It's terrible. Terrible behavior.
Episode 12, he watches Phoebe sing and throws a drink in Joey's face to throw off a stalker. Episode 13, he finds his childhood shenanigans caused harm to Julie Roberts, who exacts revenge via leaving him wearing only panties in a public bathroom.
You forgot pink thong panties.
I thought you would add that. Then episode 14, he receives a gold bracelet from Joey that results in another person being mad at him, Joey. The next episode, he sits in a new recliner and does not move. In episode 16, his friendship with Joey is tested as Joey decides to move out.
You licked and you put.
17, out of desperation, Chandler rushes into a new roommate situation with Eddie.
Yeah. Have you ever thought of getting a roommate in the grocery store?
No, just somebody you talk to for 10 minutes at the grocery store. No.
Especially in New York City.
Yeah. Although we did see Bokeem Woodbine in a grocery store in New York City.
Did. Every time when we saw him in Fargo, we were so excited.
Yeah.
he was buying ice cream.
He was. So were we. Episode 18, Chandler becomes rattled by the behavior of this new roommate, Eddie.
Just a slight rattle.
Yeah, just a slight. And then following one, Chandler demands Eddie moves out. But Eddie does not seem to get the message. Luckily, he gets help with Joey, kind of finagling a solution. Episode 20, Chandler with Joey starts hanging out with Richard until it's ruined by Richard realizing his age.
Aww.
21, with Ross, Chandler gets bullied and gets his Grinch hat taken away. Until they share trauma with the bullies and then he takes it back. Episode 22, he throws an extra surprise party for Rachel to keep her dad away from her mom. And 23, Chandler hires Joey, then has an affair with Joey's fictional wife to force Joey to quit.
There's not a thing about that sentence I don't need explained.
And the episode finale, he refuses to make out with Joey and meets a special lady online who turns out to be Janice.
Janice is back. All right. Our favorite Chandler quotes. This is probably one of my all-time favorite Chandler quotes. You have to stop the Q-tip when there's resistance.
And one of mine is, you kind of touched on the episode a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
What kind of scary-ass clowns came to your birthday?
Another one. I couldn't be lower or wetter.
Lower or wetter. No, freak show. She's fictional. It's another favorite of mine.
And another one I say a lot. How do you not fall down more?
And I'm going to close out my favorite Chandler quote with, "Oh no, two women love me. They're both gorgeous and sexy. My wallet's too small for my 50s and my diamond shoes are too tight."
Classic Chandler.
Classic Chandler. So what do you think of Chandler this season?
Chandler's still the best. He's still so funny. I'm worried he'll end up alone. He's worried that he'll end up alone when Heckles dies.
Yeah.
And feels that they're on the same track. So he starts trying to get back with Janice. And it doesn't work. So he pretends to be someone else twice. But still ends up back with Janice in the end.
Yeah.
In the middle, he has stress of losing Joey and gaining and getting rid of Eddie. But overall, Chandler, I think, is still the funniest character. He,
he's the quippiest.
He has the most craziest things happen to him throughout season 2.
Right.
Like, the most interaction with the craziest characters, I think. Yeah.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this season Chandler really starts off, like you said, really wanting to find love. Mm-hmm. And he's willing to settle for Janice. But then he finds out she's married and pregnant.
Yeah.
So how is that going to work? He has that fling with Jade, and that doesn't go well. And then that one with Julia Roberts that goes worse. And then Eddie and bullies and extra anxiety. And he's just primed to fall into old habits again and then enter Janice again.
Yep. He'll get there. All right, let's go into Monica. It's Monica season 2.
Okay.
All right, Monica starts off the season getting a Dudley Moore haircut via Phoebe.
Yeah.
Should have been
I don't
Demi.
want any of your attitude, Monica.
I know what I'm doing. Episode 2, she cheats on Rachel by shopping with Julie.
Oh.
I know. In her house of worship now.
Yes.
Episode 3, Mr. Heckles leaves his stuff to Monica and Rachel as revenge.
Yeah.
She has to argue against Heckles' lamp in her apartment and settles for the whistling girly clock.
Is that ever still there again?
That's fine. I don't know. I don't see it, but she could have put it in her room. Who knows? I still don't think it is of Rachel aesthetic. I think it was weird, but... In episode 4, she chides Phoebe for the gay marriage, saying, watches Joey's porno while dancing with Chandler.
Mm-hmm.
In episode 5, she gets a promotion, makes out with the blowfish, gets fired for accepting kickbacks.
Oh.
I know. In episode 6, Ben doesn't like her. She poisons her brother and takes him to the hospital.
After taking out Mr. Heckles, she tries to take out her brother.
In episode 7, Monica trains that fat-ass Chandler as an unemployment project, but Chandler ends up putting her in her place so he can have some peace.
Yes.
In episode 8, having no morals and needing the cash, Monica tries unsuccessfully to make Mocklet a Thanksgiving treat. Instead, she feeds Phoebe evil and escapes pistachios because she's allergic to cat hair.
Well, of course. It only makes sense.
I like how he goes, allergic to anything? Just cat hair. Oh, no, never mind.
Nope.
In episode 9, Monica and Rachel bake cookies for holiday tips versus giving money, which is not well received. Then they have the first tropical sauna Christmas party before Joey comes back and turns the radiator off.
Oh.
In episode 10, she's back with Fun Bobby. She finds out why he's so fun and encourages him to stop drinking, then realizes she has created ridiculously dull Bobby for the rest of her life. He spares her by breaking up with her first.
Because of her drinking problem.
That's right. In episode 11, Monica gets her catering gig for Carol and Susan's wedding. She overextends herself and needs her happy little elves to help her before she cries. Do you want to see me cry?
Kinda.
In episode 12, she listens to Phoebe play at the library, gets to throw water in Joey's face, and then listens to Phoebe at Central Perk.
Yeah.
In episode 13, Monica gets into a sweater-pulling marinara purse fight with
Yikes.
Rachel over Jean-Claude Van Damme and gets to be Phoebe's bitch.
Well, at least they had pros come out of it.
That's true. In And episode 14 has a sleazy interview with a chef,
Ugh.
then gets a box of memories from Jack and Judy, watches the prom video where her boob gets touched, and then later watches Jack and Judy's homemade porn.
It didn't seem like they framed it very well,
No,
which has
no.
probably worked out well.
Yeah. It was, like, not good. In episode 15, Monica caters a party for Dr. Richard Burke and is a smitten kitten.
No.
She goes for an eye appointment. They make out. They decide to date. They remember he's a grandpa and still make out. In episode 16, she goes to her dad's birthday party, catches the live show of her mom and dad, gets labeled a Twinkie, but decides to confess to her parents that she's in a loving relationship with Dr. Burke.
Tell him about the Twinkie.
It's the size of New York. In episode 17, Monica and Ross descend back into being petty teenagers, with Ross being at the apartment all the time. She tells him she hated him growing up, calls him a butt munch, and doesn't get to watch entertainment.
Butt munch would be another good t-shirt.
That would be. No one likes a butt munch. In episode 18, Monica's stuck telling Richard her number.
Ooh.
He tells her he loves her and she's his second. And they don't get to have sex tonight, but maybe tomorrow.
All right.
In episode 19, she introduces the book Be Your Own Windkeeper to Rachel. But then it backfires on them when she remembers she let Paul into the forest of her righteous truth on the first date. It descends from there. The goddesses make up, and the book is forgotten.
I need to remember to call it the Forest of Righteous Truth.
In episode 20, she convinces the guys to take Richard to a Knicks game, but then gets jealous when they hang out together. Watches Old Yeller, offers It's a Wonderful Life to Phoebe, comforts Richard when he feels old. Episode 21, she poorly plays the stock market with her last $126.
Yeah.
Desperately has to take a job at a 50s diner where she dresses in a blonde wig, big fake boobs, poodle skirt, and has to dance on the counter. That's the girly clack. In episode 22, she throws a subdued surprise party for Rachel, invites Rachel's mom, makes flan, scolds people for not clicking the pens, and yells at poor Gunther.
Gunther!
In episode 23, she scolds Richard for not having a thing, but then is relieved that he is a freak like her and loves her even more.
Aww.
And in the finale, talks to Richard about the future, finds out that he doesn't really want to have any more kids, but he will if he has to, but she doesn't want to make him, so they decide to just keep dancing. But the breakup is implied.
Aww. Poor Richard.
I know. Favorite Monica quote?
So what's some of your favorite Monica? Well, what's your first? And then I'll go. And then you go. And then I'll go. And then you go. And then I'll go.
My first favorite Monica quote is when Rachel's trying to talk Monica out of seeing Joey's porn, and she goes, "Hell, I want to see Joey."
And I like when Ross is pestering her about,
being a nag.
Yeah. And she's like, for the 16th time, no, I do not think you're obsessive.
I love the mocklet thing when she goes, "I've got no morals and I need the cash."
It's like I'm looking in a mirror. I like when Rachel's jealous of Julie.
Yep.
And she's like, we only did it once. It didn't mean anything. Really, Rachel? I was thinking about you the whole time.
I do love that. And I gotta finish with the one where she's torturing Chandler. That'll teach you to lick my muffin.
And then I'll end with, I can't believe my boyfriend doesn't have a thing.
If anyone heard that, I didn't come off too well. Monica had a sad season too. Mm-hmm. She lost her job.
Right.
She lost all her money.
Yeah.
She gets back with Fun Bobby, sobers him up, and then loses ridiculously dull Bobby. She stresses out about the catering gig. She has a terrible tropical Christmas party. Mm-hmm. She throws a really dull birthday party for Rachel with flan. Mm-hmm. She falls in love and loses Richard.
Yeah.
She ends up taking a crappy job to survive. I think she had a really rough season.
She did. And again, I think it's because as the number 2 Geller, she gets a lot of flack from the writers since Ross is happy.
That's true. I didn't think of it.
Yeah, I think they switched Gellers.
That's true. He had a crappy season 1.
Yeah. They got to give somebody crappy time.
All right.
But she isn't nearly as whiny, so it comes through even better.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, even though she has a lot of turmoil, she still finds the time to be the mother of the group. Even being grown up enough to know that even though she loves Richard, she knows she wants different things, and that'll eventually drive them apart anyway.
Yeah, she's mature enough to know that they can't stay together.
Right.
That's true.
All right, so now Ross. The other Geller.
The Rossitron. Is that bad?
So Ross starts off season 2 happy with a new love. No more pining for Rachel. It's Julie all the way. Then in the second episode, he gets annoyed with the grown-ups drinking breast milk. But it's good with all of the Oreos in the world, though. Episode 3, he helps with the rest of the group to kill Mr. Heckles. And then tries to explain evolution to Phoebe, who puts her fingers in her ears and goes la 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 la, figuratively speaking. Episode 4, he gets bad relationship advice from Rachel the saboteur.
She really just revved him up and sent him in there.
Episode 5, he chides Chandler about this deception Chandler plays on Jade, and then he goes to see Hootie. Episode 6, he gets an allergic reaction, but then doesn't want the shot to live.
Can you just squirt it in my mouth?
Episode 7, he finds out Rachel was under him.
When were you?
Episode 8, he makes a pro-con list to decide between Julie and Rachel, and picks Rachel, but she sees the list and does not pick him. Episode 9, he tries seizing the day, but ends up wasting time and money. Episode 10, he meets Rachel's new BF, Russ. Ross.
Russ.
Episode 11, Ross not only attends his ex-wife's lesbian wedding, but convinces her to go through with it.
That was like a pure, selfless Ross.
Yes.
That was really sweet.
Yeah, she didn't have to be emphatic about it, but he wanted her to go through with it. Number 12, Ross tries to visit Marcel, only to find the monkey is no longer at the zoo. He is the Monkey Shine Monkey. Episode 13, Ross meets with Marcel a couple times and then finds Chandler flossing.
Someone's flossing.
14, he tries to prevent the watching of a prom video only for it to prove his lobster qualities. Episode 15, he takes Rachel to get boned at the Natural History Museum.
Literally.
Episode 16, Ross runs defense for Richard and Monica at his dad's birthday party.
Is that Crystal?
Then in the following one, he falls into a brother-sister groove with Monica, while always over there with Rachel, and he learns to grow up a little bit. Episode 18, he goes over his past lovers list with Rachel, and mentions animal sex, animal sex, animal sex. Episode 19, he deals with Rachel's wind and Joey's lack of financial responsibility.
Aww.
In episode 20, Ross plans his life in Scarsdale with Rachel and their 2.3 children because they love each other. In episode 21, he gets bullied with Chandler, drinks powdered crappuccino, and then decides they should stand up to their bullies. Episode 22, he tries to keep Mr. Green busy during the two parties. Alrighty, Roo! Episode 23, he tries to keep Phoebe and Ryan from scratching until it proves too difficult.
I still would love to know what he was going to say when he walked in on them.
And episode 24, he helps Rachel get through Barry and Mindy's wedding.
Aww. All right, what were some of your favorite Ross quotes?
I was just moistening the tip.
That whole scene is so funny. I like when he goes, they were infected. He wouldn't have made it.
Right, her
when he
Ken
cuts
doll.
off, the legs of her Ken doll.
And then again, I'm going to go with an episode 1 quote when they're discussing Joey's Taylor, and he's like, yes, it is. In prison!
When Rachel says that Chandler told him that he liked her.
Yeah.
When did he?
And then again, we just kind of alluded to this one. I may have expected this of Phoebe, but Ryan, you're a military man.
This has got to be one of my favorite ones. I don't really enjoy being with other men that way. Zoo dollars. Ross goes through a lot. He starts it off by getting over Rachel. and then getting Rachel, and then losing Rachel right away.
Yeah.
I mean, the list was innocent. We talked about it.
Yeah.
It was taken out of context, and it backfired on him.
Right.
But she finally sees his goodness, and he gets the girl, and he's happy. He ends up okay at the end of season 2, and he has a good relationship with Carol and Susan, and he's still with Rachel. I think he, like you said, I never even put the 2 and 2 together, that while Ross had a good season, Monica had a kind of crappy season.
Right.
So that's fascinating.
Yeah, Ross is much happier this season. Not that he doesn't have ups and downs. But like you said, he starts happy, he ends happy. And it's more fun than just him whining all the time.
Yeah.
I like David Schwimmer.
Yeah.
I like his portrayal of Ross, but sometimes Ross gets bogged down in the whining.
Yeah.
He continues to put others before himself, even if he has trouble doing it.
Yeah.
He finally gets there.
He does. All right, let's talk about some Rachel for season 2.
Okay.
Rachel starts off the season by going to the airport to tell Ross how she feels about him. Mm-hmm. But then she sees Ross with Julie.
Yeah.
She rushes home to tell the gang, ruins the chicken poop story, sleeps with Paulo, and sabotages Julie's haircut.
Wow. She did not react well to that news.
She did not. Episode 2, she gets grossed out about the breast milk along with everyone else, gets jealous of Monica being friends with Julie, tries to make nice with Julie, but decides she's a manipulative bitch.
Did you go to Bloomingdale's?
In episode 3, she gets left Mr. Heckle's stuff as noisy girl number 2. She reminds Monica that it's her apartment too. Takes Mr. Heckle's shell lamp, cries when it breaks, feels better when she gets the whistling, gyrating girly club. Never get tired of that. In episode 4, she tries to keep Ross from having sex with Julie, first by saying putting it off is super sexy.
Oh, yeah.
But then trying to freak him out about it, then revs him up by describing how she would like it to happen, then sends him off revved up to Julie.
Yeah.
In episode 5, she's part of the poor gang, orders a side salad when out celebrating Monica, refuses to split the bill, tells the gang they make more than she does, doesn't go to the concert, consoles Monica when she loses her job.
Yeah.
In episode 6, she goes to bat for Phoebe when Terry hires a singer for Central Perk, comforts Phoebe when she realizes she doesn't like playing for money. In episode 7, she finds out Ross and Julie are getting a cat together.
Oh, no.
Goes on a date with poor Michael.
Oh, poor Michael.
Borrows a cell phone to get closure. Ross gets the message. She jumps on his back. She tells him she has feelings for him. Cries at work. Slams the door. Opens it and kisses Ross.
Try the bottom one again.
In episode 8, she tells Phoebes and Mon about the kiss. Wonders if Ross will stay with Julie. Finds out he broke up with Julie. While he gets the coat, she sees the list, gets pissed, breaks up immediately with Ross, dejects Ross's apologies and list of things he likes about her, and gets the DJ to stop playing his song.
I would never make a list.
That's the difference between me and you. In episode 9, she throws a tropical Christmas party with Monica, tells Ross his list, and dares him to seize the day with Trigger. Then tells Trigger it's basil and not mistletoe. Gets wiper blades from Chandler and Joey, despite not having a car.
She could have gave Trigger a little peck on the cheek.
I know. He would have been satisfied with that. In episode 10, she tries to get over Ross by dating his doppelganger, Russ. Yet doesn't see what everyone else sees until they're side by side. Ew. And then breaks up with him.
You could not be more wrong.
You could try. In episode 11, Rachel's mom comes to visit her and stays for a few days, drops the bombshell that she's divorcing her father. She gets angry until she realizes that her mom married her Barry.
Oh, that's so sad.
It is sad. I can't imagine being married to somebody I don't love.
Me neither, baby.
In episode 12, she goes to see Phoebe play for the kids at the library, throws water in Joey's face for being Drake's evil twin, Hans Ramori. That's a fun one. Yeah. In episode 13, she betrays Monica by agreeing to date Jean-Claude Van Damme after Monica sent her to say she liked him, then has a cat fight with Monica, agrees to give her Van Damme, gets into another fight because she told him she wanted a threesome with Drew Barrymore, had her sweater unraveled and her gloves ruined by marinara sauce, became Phoebe's bitch. Episode 14, she's still mad at Ross, tells him to accept that they are not going to be dating until she sees the prom video of her and Monica getting ready and realizes that Ross, seeing that she's about to be stood up for prom, steps up. She gets up, crosses the room, gives him the epic kiss. She's his lobster.
He's a lobster.
Episode 15 goes on a first date with Ross, laughs when he grabs her butt, agrees Dr. Burke is sexy, goes to the museum with Ross as he fixes the exhibit, thinks that he rolls on the juice box, and wakes up in front of a group of Catholic school kids.
Oh boy.
Decides to get a tasteful tattoo on her hip, despite Ross not liking tattoos. Tries unsuccessfully to talk Phoebe into getting a tattoo. Surprises Ross with a tattoo, and then goes to her room to do stuff.
Oh. Do stuff.
In episode 17, tells Chandler that she does not think Joey wants to move back in. He's happy. Tells Ross and Monica she is not mommy in this situation and is taking a nap because these kids are driving her crazy. In episode 18, she laments that Monica has it tough with telling Richard how many partners she had, then makes the terrible mistake of describing sex with Paulo as animalistic to Ross, plays rock, paper, scissors for the last condom. Reads the book Be Your Own Windkeeper, tells Ross she can't grow if he won't let her blow, tries to falsify the goddess quiz.
Oh, cheater.
Makes the other goddesses mad, offers them cake to make up for it, then takes the cake back.
Cheater.
In episode 20, she watches Old Yeller, holds Ben like a football, gets into a fight with Ross for planning out her future, yells that she loves him, and then they kiss. Changes Ben's diaper, gets him to say his first word, hi.
No, it's more like, hi.
Hi. We could do this all day.
Yeah, we could.
In episode 21, comforts Ross when he's bullied, then tells Monica she cannot give her $100, watches Mon dance on the counter at the diner. Episode 22 tells about the graduation from hell, has a surprise birthday party that she knew about.
No, I knew.
Has to attend too, because both of her parents are there. Goes back and forth, head spins, tells the 4th of July story, cries on Chandler's shoulder, then on Ross's. Episode 23 helps a chickenpox twin several times, tries to live out her fantasy with Ross in a naval uniform, but nags too much and gets dumped on the Central Park card.
I do like that.
And the last episode upholds her promise to be Mindy's maid of honor, wears the most hideous dress of all.
Yes.
With her ass hanging out.
It made the dress better.
It does. Gets a few zingers in and sings Copacabana.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite Rachel quotes, I gotta go with, isn't that kick you in the crotch, spit on your neck fantastic?
I knew you would have to go with that one.
It's pretty funny.
And I'm going to have to go with, and that, my friend, is what they call closure.
And then I do like when, well, then you'll just have to eat the other lambs.
And I do like when Ross and Monica are fighting.
Yeah, and he's mimicking
yeah,
her.
And she's like, I've never wanted you more.
When they, Joey and Rachel help Phoebe go visit her dad. Mm-hmm. And she says, no, because mayo would make it gross.
Right. And soon after that, she goes, okay, Joey, the dog will lick himself, but he will not touch your sandwich.
That's saying something. I thought Rachel was really good this season.
Yeah.
Although the list was annoying.
Yeah.
She is young. She's 25, 26. It hurt her feelings.
Yeah.
I thought she was really funny about Jean-Claude Van Damme. Mm-hmm. The fighting was hilarious. That was an epic episode.
Yeah.
The joke about Drew Barrymore was pretty fucking funny for her to pull on Monica.
Yeah.
Once she and Ross got together, she was pretty good. She grows. She learns her mom married her Barry. She gets a tattoo.
Yeah.
She yells that she loves Ross for the first time. I think she had a pretty good, solid season.
Yeah, Rachel Green starts off the season, taking over Ross's sad sack character. But she holds on to her convictions and finds a bit of happiness. And she ends the season finally overcoming her recent past. And she's still growing and learning.
Yeah.
And she's a little annoying. I mean,
Yeah.
They're all a little annoying.
Yeah, they all have their quirks.
Yeah, that's how TV shows work.
That's right. They go back and forth.
All right, so Joey.
Joey Jojo.
Joey Jojo. So Joey recommends a tailor in episode 1. Does not go well.
It backfires. That's not how they do pants.
In episode 2, Joey has a competition as the quickest spritzer in the West. Episode 3, after taking part in the murder of Mr. Heckles, he mostly tries to keep Chandler grounded in reality, oddly enough. Episode 4, it's revealed Joey once starred in a porno. Well, co-starred. Okay, he was an extra. Episode 5, with no money to go here or there, he plays Guess My Fingers with Phoebes and Rachel. Episode 6, he babysits Ben after Monica tries to take out Ross, loses Ben on the bus, and ducks have heads. Episode 7, Joey fills Phoebe in on the scam her new boyfriend pulled, and he thinks that man is my god. Episode 8, he helps Ross make the infamous pros-con list, ghostwrites the chubby ankles bit, and assists in an unsuccessful cover-up.
My diary. I should have told her it was my diary.
Episode 9, he takes a backseat to Phoebe, meeting her birth father. Episode 10, with the morality of the casting couch heavy on his thoughts, he makes a lot of sauce. And then he ends up being Joey and gets on that casting couch and ends up on Young and the Restless or something.
Days of Our Lives.
I know. 11, he helps Monica cook and attends a lesbian wedding.
And he acts much better than Chandler did.
Yes. 12, he dates his hot stalker until he discovers she's the unfun kind of crazy.
That was definitely food chocolate. I'm a neurosurgeon.
In episode 13, he finds Chandler flossing in the bathroom and plays a dead guy in Outbreak 2 Outbreakin'. 14, he thanks Chandler for being there for him with a mafia bracelet.
Oh.
Episode 15, he and Chandler get recliners and they do not move.
Man, you got a Cheeto stuck on your face.
Episode 16, now a soap opera star, Joey wants a place of his own. And 17, Joey now has the freedom to hideously decorate his own place. He leaves an emptiness in Chandler's apartment.
Aww.
Episode 18, after falsely claiming to write his own lines, Joey gets the shaft from Days of Our Lives.
Literally the shaft.
19, having both overspent and getting fired, Joey doesn't want a small part of driving a cab, but is willing to help out his old buddy Chandler get rid of Eddie. Episode 20, he and Chandler hang out with Richard because he's cooler than his dad. Episode 21, he takes a back seat again to Phoebe's search for her father, and even leaves a ransom message this time. Episode 22, he helps throw a second surprise party for Rachel, assists on running interference with Mr. Green with the volleyball. Episode 23, he gets a job playing a processor at Chandler's office. Gets a fake family before it's torn apart by co-worker Chandy. In episode 24, Joey's up for a part in a Warren Beatty movie where a guy is supposed to kiss him, so he tries kissing his friends.
Favorite Joey quotes.
Supposedly? Supposedly? Did they go to the zoo? Supposedly.
I like how he shakes his head at the end of that quote.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I said it right.
Yeah, that's right. Supposedly. Why would that not be right?
And then you alluded to one of my favorites earlier. Like, we can afford to go here or there.
I alluded to one of my favorites, too. Someone's flossing.
You also alluded to this one. I love his ransom message. But I love when Rachel goes,
Why the voice, Joe?
hard to say.
And then I'm going to go with, there I am, there I am, there I am, there I am.
During the porno. And then I love his impression of Eddie Minogue. See ya, pals. I'm happy to see Joey have storylines this season.
Yes.
Because last season he was just kind of in the background. There wasn't a lot going on for him.
His dad cheated on his mom.
Yeah.
That was about it.
Yeah, that was his big storylines. He's Dr. Drake Ramore after he sleeps with the casting director. He helps Phoebe confront seeing her dad twice. I mean, he gives that up and goes with her. Which deep down is why we love Joe so much as a character. He's so sweet to his friends. He gains his independence from Chandler, but he comes back in time to save him. I love that Joey had more of an arc this season.
Yeah, he's got more agency than he did in season 1.
He does, yeah.
They all have the episodes where they run around in the background, but this season it was good to see him wanting to do hard work, and be good at his job. Even in the cologne job, he wanted to be good.
He wanted to be the best.
And then he gets a solid acting job, and he learns to rely on his friends more.
Yeah. All right, let's do Miss Phoebe. Phoebe in season 2. In episode 1, Phoebe gives the guys season 2 haircuts. So Monica begs her to give her Demi Moore's haircut, but instead she gives her Dudley Moore's haircut. And then finishes by giving Julie Roddy McDowell's haircut.
Oh, you think it would have been a red flag to Monica.
Right.
That she gave the boys haircuts.
Right. Those are boys.
Those don't always transfer between the
two. Yeah. It's very different. In episode 2, she grosses everyone out by tasting Carol's breast milk. Lies about going shopping for boobs/bras with Monica. And joins in a cathartic hug with Rach and Monica.
Yeah.
In episode 3, she tells Mr. Heckles to go into the light and makes Ross question his beliefs of evolution and gives Adam heartburn. In episode 4, she has to confess to everyone that she married a gay ice dancer friend of hers, Duncan, divorces him even though she still loves him, and asks about his single straight brother.
So your brother's straight, huh?
In episode 5, she feels poor along with Joey and Rachel, orders cold cucumber mush, only pays for what she ate, doesn't go to the concert because she's not feeling in a very hooty place.
Neither am I.
Guesses Joey's fingers and notices Monica's hickey.
Is that from a blowfish?
In episode 6, she gets upset because Terry the jerk hires Stephanie to sing at Central Perk.
It's not that she's bad. It's that she's so bad.
She sings outside and makes $1.25 in a condom, but gives the condom back and then teaches Stephanie Smelly Cat. In episode 7, she goes out with Scott and is upset he won't give it up. And then after a lot of talking, she tells him it's just sex. He doesn't have to call her. Then realizes what she's done. She's created an idol for Joey. Yes. In episode 8, she now knows what evil tastes like when Monica makes her try mocklet chip cookies. In episode 9, she sees a picture of her dad in Ross's present frame, confronts her grandmother who fibs until she doesn't, calls 411 trying to find Frank Buffet. Then Grandma gives her his address. Joey and Chandler go with her to visit and shop. They do neither. But she gets toilet seat covers for Christmas and is happy.
Yeah, she's so happy.
She is. In episode 10, she tries to point out that Russ is Ross and then wins the bet when Bobby and Mon break up after he stops drinking, but then loses when Joey sleeps with the casting director of Days of Our Lives.
Steve Sleeve.
Has a massage client named Mrs. Edelman die on her massage table, gets propositioned by Mr. Edelman, then tries to show Mrs. Edelman everything so that she can go. But then once she sees the lesbian wedding, she's satisfied and leaves Phoebe and gets to drink with a nice lesbian woman to help her forget about Rose.
No.
Episode 12, she's hired by Rob Donan, Chris Isaacs, to sing at the Library for Children, but gets fired for telling the truth. But he likes her. The kids follow her to Central Perk, and she teaches Rob/Chris Smelly Cat.
Smelly Cat, Smelly Cat.
You might want to sing in a more masculine note. In episode 13, Phoebe is tough, breaks up 2 fights between Monica and Rachel, and makes them her bitches.
Nice.
Episode 14 makes up the story of lobsters mating for life and holding claws in the tank. This is simile for Ross and Rachel. He's her lobster.
Yeah, they don't do that, no matter how much you believe.
Episode 15 helps Monica cater Dr. Burke's party, avoids ophthalmologists, and then agrees that Dr. Burke is sexy when Monica goes on a date with him.
He is. I don't know why I keep doing that this episode.
In episode 16, talks Rachel into getting a tattoo, then chickens out on getting a lily for her mother and gets a blue freckle instead. Episode 17 gets discovered by a record producer, records a music video for Smelly Cat, is impressed but finds out it's not her voice, feels sorry for the girl who's not pretty enough for the video, comparing her to Smelly Cat.
The song works on so many levels.
Episode 18 gets Monica into trouble by stating that out of all of Monica's boyfriends, and it's been a lot, she likes Richard the best.
Phoebe's dead.
Episode 19 helps Monica introduce Be Your Own Windkeeper to Rachel, then descends into argument because she let the puppet guy and his puppet too wash his feet in her pool of inner power.
Phoebe!
As well as sleep with Jason Hurley an hour after he broke up with Monica.
1 hour?
But they end up forgiving each other. Episode 20 finds out her mother shielded her from sad movie endings before she killed herself. There's no real resolution, but she watches Sesame Street with Ben.
Yeah.
Episode 21 tries to visit her father again with Joey and Rachel, gets attacked by a Jack Russell Terrier, stays until after dark, runs the pup over, takes it to the vet, returns it, doesn't find her father, but meets her half-brother, Frank Jr.
He was always happiest on his stilts.
I don't know what to say about that.
Me neither.
And episode 22 helps people escape Monica's boring party to join Chandler and Joey's funner party. Tells Rach to make a special flan wish.
Those almost never come true.
Episode 23 contracts chickenpox, gives it to her Navy boyfriend. They sensually bitch and scratch each other. Laments that she didn't get to do any of the things she planned with him. Gets the pun of Central Perk.
Oh, I get it.
And in the season finale, tells Chandler that his cyber chick might be a dude, but then talks him into meeting her after she tells him to get his shoes, shower, answer her first, but then make coffee.
Because it's too much.
It's too much! Favorite Phoebe quotes?
What's one of yours?
I gotta go with the fight when she goes, "Look at your purse! Look at your sweater! Look at yourself!"
And I like when she's like, all right, I'm going to pass on the concert because I'm not in a very hooty place right now.
It's cute. And same episode. If you were in prison, you guys would be like my bitches now.
And I like when she's like, dude, 11 o'clock, hot babe, checking you out.
And then I got to do with the follow line. That was really good. I think I'm ready for my penis now.
And then I think she speaks for us, as far as Eddie is concerned. Because she goes, is anyone else really starting to like him?
Phoebe has some weird turns this season.
Yeah.
She pushes Ross and Adam's buttons early on by questioning evolution. She confesses to marrying someone she loved so they could get a green card. She sort of finds where her dad is, but finds a half-brother instead.
Right.
It's just really odd. And then that whole chickenpox episode with the guy we've never heard of and we never hear again is just weird. It was okay.
Yeah.
They haven't really found what they want to do with Phoebe yet.
Yeah, I think Phoebe's the hardest one for them.
Yeah.
Because, like, I love Phoebe and her quirkiness. But I do feel like season 2, she's getting a bit irritating. Like, they're kind of blurring the line between innocent and ignorant.
Yeah.
You know? And she seems more flaky than quirky.
Yeah.
Like, the first season, she's definitely quirky.
Yeah.
And in this season, she starts to get a little more flaky.
Okay.
And over the whole series, I feel like Phoebe's the most inconsistent.
Told you, yeah.
I mean, like, she has scenes where she acts like she's the dirty girl who's up for everything, but then she gets judgy about porn. And, and then she's okay with the age difference with Monica, but not for her brother.
Right.
And, like, I like Phoebe a lot in season 1, but not so much season 2. But she grows back on me.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of find a little more where they want her to be. Again, I think she's probably the most underdeveloped character going into the series.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
So, Chandler, what did this guy Eddie do anyway?
Well, at first, he just spent a lot of time in his room.
Well, that's not so bad.
Well, I tried to play nice, and then he told me about how he made pancakes for his girlfriend right before she broke up with him, ripping out his heart and smearing it all over his life.
Oh.
Then, when she stopped by, he accused me of sleeping with her.
Did you?
No! And then he thought I killed his pet fish. Then he put a goldfish cracker in the tank and named it Chandler.
Well, that's not a good sign.
No, it was not. He stole the insoles out of my shoes. He made cookies with not raisins in them.
Not raisins?
Well, whatever they were not raisins. He watched me while I slept.
Ooh.
He got on a dehydrating kick for some reason, showing off the best fruits and vegetables. Then he stole a mannequin head from Macy's. And once he got a real goldfish and put it in his pocket and left.
So you think that it'll work just telling this guy that he never lived here?
My plan is flawless.
Let's do it.
All right. So what are your final thoughts on...
We're back.
Oh, sorry. We're back.
So my final thoughts on the
Yes.
season.
Yes.
Some very strong episodes in season 2.
Yeah.
Fun jokes, characters, not too shabby. I think they really took what worked from the first season and applied it to this season. And I think they even do better going forward.
Yeah.
You know, because some of my favorite episodes are still awaiting us.
Yes. For sure. Season 2 was fun.
Yeah.
Great one-liners. Great storylines. And as we saw in season 1, great special guests. Like the special guests and the side characters really add to the episodes. They're fun to watch. I think they're really finding their groove and places in the next season. But I still love season 2. It's good times. Good times.
Yeah. There's still really good episodes in there.
All right. Sweater vest tracker.
So, we had 21 sweater vests worn in season 1.
That's amazing.
Only 6,
Yes.
as predicted by Joe in season 2.
Yes.
That's a total of 27 sweater vests out of 48 episodes.
It's amazing.
That's almost one vest every episode, or half vest per episode.
One vest every other episode, or half a vest per episode.
Right.
That's nuts.
What are your predictions for season 3 as far as sweater vests?
I think sweater vests are coming back.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to say 15.
15.
Yeah. I'm going to say 15 sweater vests for
Well,
season 3.
yeah. I think it's definitely going to be more than season 2.
Okay.
I think season 2 may be our lowest.
Yes.
Maybe season 10.
Yeah.
I don't know for
yeah.
sure.
I think once he got out of data statistics processing,
Right.
he stopped wearing sweater vests. I don't say that he didn't stop wearing them at all.
No.
I think there might be one in season 10.
Yeah.
But I think that was probably the least. You're right.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with, let's see, I usually go higher than you, but 15 is pretty high. I'm going to go lucky number 13.
All right.
13.
Woohoo! 13 sweater vests. You heard it here. Who's going to win? What do you think? All right. What are we doing next week, Adam?
Next week, Romy and Michelle's high school reunion.
Amazing. Yay.
So we have 2 dim-witted and inseparable friends. Romy, played by Mira Sorvino, and Michelle, played by Lucy Kudrow, hit the road for their 10-year high school reunion and concoct an elaborate lie about their lives in order to impress their classmates.
They're also starring Janine Garofalo, Alan Cumming, our fun Bobby Vincent Ventresca,
Yeah.
and Justin Thoreau.
Justin Thoreau shows up. That's fun.
I know we were watching it and I was like, is that Justin Thoreau?
I was like, yeah.
That's so fun. I'm very excited to break down the movie. That'll be fun. And I'm really excited to start season 3 with you.
Yes, season 3 is going to be fun.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the breakdown of season 2.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get into season 3.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
That'll be fun.
We liked going through season 2 with you guys. If you
Yeah.
have any thoughts or reactions regarding next season, please reach out and share your thoughts with us. We would love to include your episode breakdowns, your episode thoughts, your quotes, whatever you'd like to share.
Yeah.
Email us at themaladjustedmisfits@gmail.com.
Come on, we want to hear from more of you Misfits out there.
Rate us and leave positive comments.
And if you have a negative comment, try to leave it in a more maladjusted way.
Check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Joe, you ready for a cup of coffee?
Always. See ya, pals.